Good evening. I'd like to open the Board of Education meeting. This is a regular meeting of the Buckeye Board of Education. It is Tuesday, April 14th, and it is 6:00 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kuya.
Here.
Mrs. Sicilich.
Here.
Mr. Salazar.
Here.
Mrs. Pavarchi.
Here.
And Mrs. Gulman.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. The mission of the Buckeye Local Schools is to empower students to excel in a highly competitive society. Item number 2, approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the March 10th regular and special meetings and the March 23rd special meeting. May I have a motion, please?
Next move. Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Salazar.
Yes.
Mr. Kuya.
Yes.
Mrs. Sicilich.
Yes.
Mrs. Pavarchi.
Yes.
And Mrs. Gulman.
Yes. We operate on a consent agenda for a lot of the usual items. And the item is to recommend the Buckeye Board of Education approve the consent agenda as of April 14th. Any additions or corrections?
Yes, Mrs. Guckelman, we have one addition this evening, board members. We have our FFA overnight field trip to Columbus at the end of this month, April 30th and May 1st. All the details we didn't have when the agenda went live, which Norris got the information to us this Monday. So we put it on the agenda so the kids can go to the FFA. They go every year, so we'd ask for that consideration tonight.
A motion, please.
So moved. I'll second.
I'm sorry, first.
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Pavarchi.
Yes.
Mr. Kuya.
Yes.
Mrs. Sicilich.
Yes.
Mr. Salazar.
Yes.
Mrs. Gulman.
Yes. We are at the part of the meeting for public participation. Thank you. David Hessler, am I saying that correctly?
Missler.
Besler.
Missler.
Bis-
Missler.
All right, thank you.
3540 Columbia Road, Medina. I get this from Buckeye once in a while. It says here, according to Mark Donnelly, I encourage our community members to stay engaged, ask questions, and continue participating in these important conversations. This don't mean nothing to me because we've had plenty of people participate, okay? It's just that, you know, how it is. First off, I want to say the first levy, one of y'all said that everyone could afford an extra $500 added to their taxes. And everybody could afford it. Last month, somebody else says it only costs $250 added to your taxes. I tell you what, that's right, you don't have to answer that question or any other questions because the people out here asking questions, if you are not part of their clique, you don't get questions answered. I've been asking questions for 10 years, and I know 2 people that are in this board right now have tried to contact me, but they never did. They took my number, but never called. Since 2017, my property taxes have gone up over $1,300 In 1 year, from 24 to 25, my taxes have gone up over $280. You don't have enough money yet? I know this because of the greedy county commissioners that keep raising property values. But there are 2 of you that have been on this school board for 10 years and have done nothing to have maintenance plans for these buildings. 10 years ago, the people of this school district passed operating levy, yet nothing was done about it, maintaining these buildings. And I think you know who you are. Then you say it is for the children to build a new school. That's an unright lie. 2 Timothy 3, 1-5 says, Paul says, remember that there will be difficult times in the last days. People will be selfish, greedy, boastful, conceited. They will be insulting, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, and irreligious. They will be unkind, merciless, slanderous, violent, fierce. They will hate the good. They will be treacherous, reckless, and swollen with pride. They will love pleasure rather than God. They will hold to the outward form of our religion, but reject its real power. Keep away from such people. When I see Catholics, Lutherans, Baptists, and Methodists sitting as our representatives at this school, treating people out here who ask tough questions, and then sit there and treat your own as you treat others like garbage by locking people out of meetings from last month because she was a few minutes late, and you call yourselves Christians?
Sir, your time is up.
I'm asking for another one, too.
Is it another topic or same topic?
Different topic.
All right.
Jesus told his disciples that when the Pharisees and Sadducees teach the law of Moses, listen to them, but don't act like them. This is what we have here. And Jesus called them hypocrites. Now, we all are sinners in this room. We are all children of God. True Christians do not act like this. True Christians, according to Jesus, number 1, ask Jesus to come into your heart. Number 2, confess your sins and stop sinning. If you have the Holy Spirit within you, you will know your sins. Repeat every day when the Holy Spirit convicts you of sin committed. This was brought to me by the Holy Spirit through Jesus Christ. I was supposed to come up here today because I know that. The thoughts that he gives me and the things that I read in the Bible, and the people are getting treated like crap around here. I hope you all take it to heart. Because these people out here behind me, when they get their awards, they don't stick around to see what goes on. And I wish they would.
Thank you. Next is Susie Whittinger.
Hi, I also have 2 statements. I'll stop after my first one and then start my second one. Cece Hoodinger, 7463 Center Road. In regards to the recent social media resolution last month in March that you passed, what is the policy of our Facebook page? I have asked who is in charge of it, who makes the posts, who makes the response, and I have never gotten an answer. I would like to see our policy about this, regarding this. If indeed a policy is not in place for this page, it should be taken down until one is. Otherwise, no person has the right representing Buckeye, as stated similarly in the resolution just passed last month, in March. I still have no answers about Finance Committee that I asked for last month. There's 3 of them. 1, I would like to know from our Finance Committee exactly how they are planning for our anticipated losses and an exact breakout of where our $8 million is coming from for this capital project. 2, I would like to know how the Finance Committee plans on future repairs and maintenance for the current high school that will remain standing and the elementary school. 3, I would also like to know who are the members of our Finance Committee and when do they meet. There really is no justification for not having answered my questions. I find it highly disrespectful to residents who show in person for information and get no response, yet anonymous people get better responses as evident with your social media resolution. Mr. Kuyat stated at the March meeting, "We have been talking since about 7 years going about being in a deficit spending around 2026 and 2027, which we see by our financial reports is true. But at the February meeting, just a month prior, he also said years ago we were in good financial standing. We were in good standing financially, making us able to do this new building. So which is it? The County Budget Commission seems to think we can give back $2.5 million to the taxpayers in a rollback. You are reaping the benefits of both increased property values and our emergency levy that brings in $3.2 million a year. Which one do you need? The increased property values or our emergency levy? That's my first one. So if you'd like to restart the clock, I'll start another one. Or I'll stand here for 21 seconds.
You may go ahead.
I am aware the Budget Commission approved our budget. Congratulations. I'm wondering, is the board considering returning the $2.5 million since they are getting much more money than they were 6 years ago? I am guessing not, because it will make the project fund short for the new building. I need to make sure you understand. I submitted a misappropriation of funds and fraud complaint against the board with the state auditor. Based on ORC, I believe the board has no legal right to put the $32 million and counting to a capital project when the money was collected on operating funds. Knowing there is an active complaint and investigation, this board should not move forward with any more action or spending on this project until the matter is settled. Although Mr. Kuyat stated that you had gotten verbal approval by others, that does not supersede an investigation. The $32 million questioned by the Budget Commission did not just disappear. It is a very active issue. The project should be put on hold until fully resolved. Continuing would constitute malfeasance and misconduct by the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, we have some informational items from Mr. Stanton.
Yes, good evening, Mrs. Kupferman, good evening, board members and everybody in the community that's here. Appreciate you being here. We got a lot of exciting things on the board agenda tonight. We've got a lot of students that are going to be recognized. It's always the best part of a board meeting. And then, some typical business and some non-typical business. But we're going to start off with our April Students of the Month. So let's start there. And Ms. Eisenman, you are here this evening representing the high school. I'll explain a little bit later why Mr. Snook is not here, but good evening, and we'll start off with you.
Kai is somewhere in this audience. Hello, Kai. Come on down. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Ellie Eisenman. I'm the assistant principal at Buckeye High School. Kai Knob is our Student of the Month for April 2026, and it's my distinct honor to present him as such. Kai was selected due to his exemplary academic achievement, his community engagement, and proven leadership he displays daily both on and off campus. As a tri-enrolled student at Buckeye High School, Cuyahoga Community College, and Medina County Career Center, Kai excels in a wide range of challenging scholastics, including but not limited to advanced placement, college credit plus, and industry credential classes. Kai has taken AP Pre-Calc and Calc. He has taken AP English Literature and Language, AP US History and Government, and he also found some spare time for Earth Science and Physical Geography through Tri-C. Kai says his favorite AP class to date has been AP US History due to the riveting content and Mr. Harris's teaching style. Kai recognized Mr. Harris at our Top Scholar event this year for these reasons. Kai has garnered meaningful workplace experience at the Medina County Career Center for their automotive technology, which is an ASE and an NATEF certified program. He has also served as the Auto Tech Program President for his junior and senior years, and he has been awarded an AP Top Scholar for his honors, recognizing an average score of 3.25 on all AP exams taken, with a score of 3 or higher on 4 or more of those exams, which is a really incredible feat. Kai leads with purpose through several community and school-based groups. He is currently an Eagle Scout and the patrol leader for Boy Scout Troop 500. His Eagle Scout project consisted of constructing bird towers for the Medina County Park System to provide eco-friendly homes for native avian species. And he has also served as our academic challenge team captain for both his junior and senior year. And he answered the most questions correctly out of anyone on the team, according to his advisor, Mr. Call. So if anyone needs an extra for trivia night, this is the person that you want to call. Mr. LaGuardia, our mock trial advisor, has said that Kai has played a vital and intensive role of attorney for the past 4 years and was recognized his junior year by the mock trial panel to receive the Judges Award for Best Attorney. He also led the group to regionals in 2024. Kai is a dedicated employee through experience at Castle Well and his own landscaping business. And when discussing future plans, he is looking forward to continuing his educational studies at the University of Akron next year, so go Zips. And it is also just to be noted that Kai is a kind, caring, and calm presence on our campus, taking the time to engage with his peers positively while setting out to accomplish the task at hand for the day. Mrs. Cuddy, Kai's AP Literature and Language teacher, shared that this is her 3rd year having Kai. He is such a thoughtful and introspective scholar. He is really intellectually curious about the world around him. And Kai has always been prepared for class and willing to participate in any lesson, no matter how challenging. I will always remember his personal essay about how he didn't know if he needed to go to college. It was a very well-written reflection about how much the Career Center had provided to him and how college might not be his route. Even though he has decided to pursue college at this point in time, he was willing to imagine the possibilities of pursuing a different road. So Kai, thank you for all you do each day to make Buckeye High School a great place to be and take part in educational success. Your dedication to raising our standard and exceeding expectations brings us all great joy, and we are really excited to see you continue to excel at Akron. So congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kai. That's a great start to this part of the board meeting. Thank you. Mr. Sauer, good evening. How are you? This is our junior high school principal. And there we go. I think you're bringing up Wyatt.
Come on up, Wyatt. We've got a tough act to follow. That's all right. Still have time to build that resume. All right. It is a genuine pleasure to officially recognize you as Student of the Month at Buckeye Junior High School. This award is reserved for students who go above and beyond their academic and personal conduct, and your performances here has been nothing short of exemplary. You were nominated for this honor by Mr. Conrad, who joins us tonight, who spoke very highly of your character and your presence in the classroom. In his nomination, he shared Wyatt is the epitome of what every teacher looks for in a student. He is kind, caring, and respectful. What strikes me the most is his decency. We can always count on Wyatt to do the right thing, to help his classmates, and to show up with a strong attitude. I know that Wyatt will continue to do great things, and I am honored to be one of his teachers. So thank you, Mr. Conrad. It is rare to find a student who balances such strong work ethic with genuine kindness. Whether you are sharing your talents in choir, expressing your creativity through drawing, or unwinding with some video games, you bring a well-rounded and positive energy to our 8th grade class. As you begin to look forward to your high school and your future goal of attending college and perhaps becoming an engineer, please know that this foundation of integrity and decency you've built here will be your greatest asset moving forward. Congratulations on this well-deserved achievement, and keep leading by example, young man. Congrats.
Nice job, Wyatt. Thank you, Mr. Sauer. Intermediate principal, Mr. Wilson. Good evening, Mike. Hello.
All right, everybody else can move over here so we will. So I have with me here Tara. Tara is a 4th grader at the intermediate school. And this past month, we talked a lot about critical thinking. So I'm going to share a little bit about what our mom said and what our teacher said, and then wrap it up with a little bit about critical thinking as a 4th grader. From Mom, Tara is a loving and affectionate and caring youngest child in the family. She loves the water, everything about the water. Swimming, it doesn't matter if it's a pool or a lake. I don't know, maybe jump in the ocean when your family takes you on vacation. I'm trying to encourage you. Swimming is really her happy place, followed by four-wheelers. So that's kind of the best of both worlds. She is, excuse me, she is properly embarrassed when mom sings and dances at the grocery store, which is fantastic. And then from Mrs. Sarmiento, she says that Tara stands out as our student of the month for her strong critical thinking skills, especially in mathematics. She approaches problems with confidence and flexibility, uses a variety of strategies to find solutions. Rather than relying on just one method, she explores different approaches and is willing to adjust her thinking when needed. Just as importantly, she openly shares her thought process, helping others understand not only the answer, but how to get there. She's an independent thinker who's not afraid to ask questions to deepen her understanding. Whether she's clarifying a concept or wondering about a new approach, her curiosity drives her learning forward. She reflects on her work, learns from challenges, and consistently strives to improve. Her willingness to think for herself, take risks, and engage in meaningful problem solving makes her a wonderful role model for her peers. She says, "Well done, Tara," and she's sorry she couldn't be here. You know, critical thinking was our focus for March, and as a fourth grader, critical thinking is important because this is the time you take experiences and knowledge and creativity and you start to analyze the situations differently. And then you take that information, you evaluate it, and then you act upon it. At this stage, we're moving on from just memorizing facts. We are really trying to dig into what we're doing and ask a bunch of questions. It's the how, it's the why, and it's the what if, and to explore new topics. As a fourth grader, to focus on critical thinking, you want to encourage creativity, curiosity, and open-ended questions. Tara represents all of this. And when I interviewed her, I was able to find out some cool facts about her as well. Like she's a straight A student. She loves the movie Home Alone. And according to Mom, you like K-pop Demon Hunter as well. We also talked about the love of swimming, but loves winter. And especially loves winter because there's no bugs. All the other seasons gotta go away. She loves winter, but she refuses to do the polar bear plunge. I don't understand why. I think it'd be really fun. Her favorite food is mac and cheese. Her favorite teacher, coming through the grade levels, is Mrs. Fantas. I almost didn't present this one, but her favorite principal, I thought was a shoo-in. That was gonna be me, but it is Mrs. Rivera right over there. And her favorite subject is math. And when she gets to the higher grades, she definitely wants to participate in some kind of debate class, possibly mock trial, because she wants to use that as she moves through college and becomes a lawyer. The most interesting part of our entire conversation, though, was one question I asked. I said, what's something that you live by? Maybe some words of wisdom, or, and as a fourth grader, not all of them have this. And she summed this up perfectly. And she told me, don't let fear hold you back. And I was like, that is pretty insightful for being in fourth grade. Don't let fear hold you back. So everything I've talked about her, everything I've talked about with critical thinking is really summed up in that phrase. Because she wants to know the how and the why and the what if. So we're so proud of you and we look forward to see what you're going to do next. Congratulations.
It was awesome, Tara. You couldn't see it, but when Mr. Wilson said no bugs, everybody went, yeah. That's all right. So congratulations. Ms. Rivera, good evening.
Okay, we're saving our gem for last. Okay, this is Samantha Glenn, the primary student of the month. We too focused on critical thinking. Samantha is being recognized as Student of the Month for her strong critical thinking skills and her love of learning. She enjoys challenging herself, especially in math, because she knows it will help her grow stronger in the future. Samantha is also an avid reader who especially enjoys books by Beverly Cleary and Bad Kitty. At school, she's excited to continue building her skills, particularly learning how to multiply 2-digit numbers and read and spell bigger words. Outside of school, Samantha stays busy with many activities. She loves creating art and spending time with her family. She also enjoys building imaginative new worlds on her tablet. Samantha is very active and participates in taekwondo, cheerleading, and basketball, showing her dedication and energy in all she does. Samantha lives with her mom, dad, her guppies, her 2 underwater frogs, hermit crabs, a betta fish, and her dog Barry. She loves being part of her family because they are always there to support her. Some of her favorite family activities include watching TV together and traveling to Blackwater Falls, West Virginia. She especially enjoys when her parents make steak and mashed potatoes, green beans for dinner. She also looks forward to special outings at Fiesta Jalapeno. When Samantha grows up, she hopes to become a teacher and a babysitter because she enjoys working with younger children. Her curiosity, her kindness, and her determination make her a wonderful role model and a deserving student of the month. And this is Mrs. Burgess, her 3rd grade teacher, and she has a little to say about her.
This was an easy one for me to pick her for this critical thinking for March. I would like to recognize one of my 3rd grade students, Samantha Glenn. Samantha has been selected for her outstanding critical thinking skills, both in the classroom and throughout her school experience. Samantha consistently demonstrates a thoughtful approach to learning, taking the time to ask meaningful questions, make connections across subjects, and carefully consider different perspectives before arriving at her conclusions. Samantha shows a level of curiosity and determination that sets her apart, often going beyond the surface to truly understand the why behind what we are learning. Whether she is solving a challenging math problem, analyzing a story, or collaborating with her peers, Samantha approaches each task with focus, creativity, and confidence. What is especially impressive is her willingness to take risks in her thinking, to share her ideas openly, and to learn from both her successes and her mistakes. Samantha serves as a positive role model for all her classmates, encouraging thoughtful discussion and inspiring others to think more deeply. I am incredibly proud of her accomplishments, and I'm so excited to see how she continues to grow as a learner and a leader.
Samantha Glenn.
Congratulations, Samantha, and all of our students of the month, and their families that are here this evening as well, so thank you. And our principals. Ms. Rivera, I know you were heading over to a kindergarten information tonight, so thank you for double duties tonight. Okay, I'm going to suggest that we make an adjustment to the agenda tonight, just because we have so many students that are here and their families. And I have a feeling a lot of the students probably want to go out and maybe enjoy that amazing weather that's out there. So I'm going to ask Mr. Myers to do his athletic update. For those of you that maybe haven't seen this before, after every season, we ask our athletic director to give the board and the community an update on what has happened with our student athletes from previous seasons. So tonight would be the night for John to do that. I think it's a good time to do that. When he's finished with this, we're going to take a break. We will get pictures of all of our students of the month. We'll get pictures of our athletes that are here. And then about 5 minutes after that, we'll go to the rest of the meeting. Is that okay with everybody? Good. I probably should have asked you first. But okay. Thank you. Mr. Myers, good evening.
Thank you. At this time, since I do have a big group that is with me, can all of the athletes that are invited come stand up front, and then when I get to recognizing you, you just step forward instead of calling you one by one from the crowd.
You're all coming this way with such enthusiasm.
Put them in a stadium with 1,000 people.
Exactly.
Again, it was another season of growth and accomplishments. Our student athletes have really represented the community and the school with a lot of pride in competition and in the classroom, while maintaining a relentless pursuit of excellence. Tonight we'll highlight our student athletes, their accomplishments, as well as our teams. The first that I would like to recognize, and that is all of our student athletes, their performance in the classroom. Our academic GPA for our student athletes, we had a cumulative GPA of a 3.48. That is not just this group here, that is all 147 winter sport athletes that we had. The average GPA or cumulative GPA of that group was a 3.48, demonstrating their commitment to the classroom as well as competition. And then additionally, we'd like to recognize the girls basketball team that had a team GPA of 4.02. This is the second consecutive winter season where the girls basketball team has led the athletic department in the winter with their GPA. At this time, we'll recognize our student athletes who qualified for a state competition. To put this in perspective, only a small percentage of athletes ever reach the state level. Depending on the sport, you're talking about somewhere between 2 and 5% of athletes in Ohio high schools that are able to qualify and compete at the state level. Again, a credit to their preparation that they put in throughout their career and their ability to perform under pressure. So that the group knows when I call your name, you guys can just step forward. In bowling, we have Aubrey Reuter, qualified for the state tournament. Aubrey is the first district champion in school history and the first state qualifier in school history. Gymnastics, we had Miranda Pesto and Nevaeh Seca. Miranda qualified as an alternate, and Nevaeh qualified and competed. Nevaeh is one of 2 gymnasts in school history to ever compete in the all-around. Indoor track, Ellen, Brady, and Dimitri qualified individually, as well as the 4x8 relay team of Brady Salazar, Dimitri Brashanik, Gavin Weeble, and Nolan Reed. And then in wrestling, Colin Bartos, Blake Bartos, Logan Lettner, and Brody Zool all advanced to the state tournament. Again, this level of representation for our athletes speaks to the strength and the depth of our athletic programs. Additionally, athletes that earned All-Ohio recognition. Now, All-Ohio is a little bit different depending upon the sports. In our individual sports like indoor track and wrestling, it is determined upon your finish at the state tournament. In basketball, it's voted on by the coaches and the media. In indoor track, Ellen Steppenbacher has earned All-Ohio honors for the 2nd time in her career. And Brady Salazar has earned All-Ohio recognition. In basketball, Turner Delata was named All-Ohio for the 2nd time in his career. In wrestling, Colin Bartos had earned All-Ohio honors, and Blake Bartos finished his career as a 4-time All-Ohio. Earning All-Ohio recognizes our athletes and their ability to compete at the highest level. A couple teams that I would like to point out while the whole teams are not here. We had a conference championship in gymnastics this season. They had a team score of 132 at the conference meet. This program continues to do things the right way. They represent the department with class, consistency, professionalism, and have established a standard for the teams to follow behind them. Girls bowling was the North Shore Bowling Conference regular season champions with a record of 17-0. They are back-to-back regular season champions. Their record of 33-1 in the past 2 years, and they are the North Shore Bowling Conference tournament champions for the first time in school history. They were the first sectional champion in school history, the 2nd team to qualify for districts. This group has built a program of success and created a foundation to build upon. Our wrestling team, they finished the conference record with 7-0 in duels. This is their 6th consecutive undefeated dual season. They were the sectional runner-up, 4th at districts, and placed 10th at state. This program is defined by its relentless pursuit of excellence, where the conference success is expected, and they are determined to compete at the state level. School records, and we did have a lot of school records. that were broken this year, and we'd like to recognize those student athletes. In basketball, Zach Stow had a single season record of 44 steals, and Austin Heyer had a single season three-point field goals of 59. In swimming, Abby Parrott set a record in the 200 IM, the 200 free, the 100 free, the 100 backstroke, and the 100 breaststroke. The 200 free relay of Zarabelle, Krieger, Dalquist, and Abby Parrott. Maddie Krieger set a record in the 100 butterfly, and Noah Parrott set a record in the 200 free, the 50 free, the 100 butterfly, the 100 free, and the 100 back. In gymnastics, Nevaeh on the bars with a score of 9.3. And in track, Ellen on the pole vault of 12 feet, and Brady in the 800 meter. These records are now a mark for our future athletes to aspire to. Some career accomplishments I'd like to highlight. Turner has eclipsed 1,000 career points, has ended his career with 1,239 career points. As I mentioned, a two-time All-Ohioan, was the CWC Conference Player of the Year, coming off last season being the Offensive Player of the Year. In wrestling, Coach Mike Tecco was the Conference Coach of the Year. Coach Tecco continues to lead the program with consistency and high expectations. In wrestling, Brendan McKee has eclipsed 100 wins. He is a junior with a record of 103-38. Brody Zool has eclipsed 100 wins with a current career record of 102-30. Logan Lettner has a career record of 138-31 and is committed to wrestle and play football at Baldwin Wallace University. And then Blake Bartos, who has eclipsed 150 wins, has a career record of 168-12, 101 pins, 202 near falls, is a four-time J.C. Gorman champion, is the first wrestler in the 67-year history of that tournament to win three-time most valuable wrestling honors. The fourth was because Eddie Knightenbach in fall wrestling was won it that 1 year that prevented Blake from potentially being a four-time. Blake is the first four-time state placer, three-time finalist in school history. He is the third two-time champion and is committed to wrestle at the University of Wyoming, joining Eddie Knightenbach. These accomplishments represent the long-term commitment and the required talents that it is to perform at the highest level. And then, as I mentioned, records in the athletic department, we've taken an initiative to really audit the records that we have. There was, for whatever reason, there's been a gap in our, of course, historical data. And working with our coaches and working with the Gazette, and we've now posted on our website and on social media, any individual that potentially has set a record, or really just to verify, we have about an 8-year gap that we've been trying to piece together to be able to have record boards that are displayed in the high school for all of these records to be displayed for our student athletes in our community to see when they come to school. That is currently missing. Before we go ahead and actually have record boards to be able to hung and displayed in the school, we want to make sure that information is accurate as possible. So if you're curious for that information or want to view that information, it is on the athletic department's Facebook page, and it's also on the athletic department's website, which the athletic department's website, if you wanted to go to it directly, would be buckeyeathletics.org. It is linked in 3 separate spots. You can go forms and links. It'll say athletic records. You could go inside athletics, and it will be listed there, or fan zone, and it will be listed there. Those would be the 3 places where you could view the athletic records in culmination. And then would like to end with a thank you to our athletes, a thank you to the community, a thank you to the coaches, a thank you to the administration. This is one of my greatest honors to be able to celebrate our athletes and all that they do, and I thank you for allowing me to do it. Thank you. Does somebody need to get a picture of the whole group?
Yeah, so we're gonna do, sorry, John, I can't see. There's some big guys in front of me. If you were this way, I couldn't see them. Yeah, we're gonna take a full break.
Okay.
So we'll get pictures of all of you, we'll get pictures of all of our students of the month. Thank you. Maybe take about a 5-minute break. Ms. Usmer, are you taking pictures or Ms. Wise?
And Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, Mr. Lundberg, of course. But yes, John, they're all right here, so this would be a really good picture. That's it. So 5-minute break or so. Thank you.
All right, wow, a little bit smaller group, but thank you for staying. We are still on the superintendent's item.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Mrs. Gunkelman, and thank you for everybody for staying. That was a nice celebration of our students.
Sure
was. Just some upcoming events. District testing has begun. Educators in the room or parents in the room, you know what I mean. Standardized testing season is going on right now. We started here right after spring break. We will conduct pretty much grades 3 through 11 in the month of April. We will have AP testing in the month of May. Great job by our principals, our teachers, our students, and our curriculum director, Mrs. Elias, for organizing and running that. So testing is going on. Tonight, this is actually the reason our high school principal, Mr. Snook, isn't here. The Top Scholars Banquet is happening right now up at the Career Center. That is where the top scholars of all the Medina County Public Schools meet for a real nice night of celebration. They get to bring their most influential teacher with them and their families as well. That is happening this evening, and both Don Kachanik, our Student Services Director, and Mr. Snook are there with our top scholar. On April 23rd, we'll continue in our celebration of success for the class of 2026. Our Buckeye High School School Night of Excellence will happen 6 o'clock on April 23rd, and that's at Grace Church over in Brunswick. We have a Board of Education work session slated for Monday, April 27th. And on April 29th, our high school vocal spring concert and solo night will happen. That will be here at the high school as well. That's it for upcoming events for the next few weeks. I'm going to transition to a couple updates from me before I turn over to Mrs. Elias for her curriculum update and a math adoption. But I want to start off with, I've been pretty regular in doing this, for a while now. I want to give a transportation update, and then I'll also give an update on facilities. But I'll start off with transportation. Our arrival and dismissal times, as we thought they would, have drastically improved over the course of the last 6 to 8 weeks. They're still not where we want them to be. I mean, the issue still remains. We need more bus drivers. As we get more bus drivers, things will even improve even more. But as we are into the end of April, middle of April, I should find some wood to bang on here because, man, things have really gotten better. Our morning times, pretty much all the buses over the elementary here by 8:45. Our afternoon times, we're departing with the exception of one bus by 3:45. So things have gotten much better. We also understand that is because a larger number of our parents are choosing to drive their children. So I get it, but things have gotten significantly better here in the last 6 to 8 weeks. Why? Well, we have more drivers working for us. Some of our drivers that were on leave have come back. That has helped. We have more sub-drivers, and as you know, we are contracting drivers as well. We have more drivers. Right now we're running with about 13. Our goal is 15 drivers. That's where we want to be. Actually, we would certainly take 18 to 20 as well. But we have to have 13 to start next school year. We're hoping for 15 and hoping for more. We are still using GG&C. We have 3 drivers working with us for the remainder of the year. We have no intention of currently of using them next fall, but they will work with us for the remainder of the year. Our engagement with METS is we have 1 driver hired through that process. We have another in the hiring process. We've had many interviews and interest from the work they have done. We haven't seen as much matriculation of bus drivers to jobs yet for us, but we're certainly hoping that continues. That we find more drivers to roll with us. We are working on routes and pickup changes. As I've said many times, when you are changing transportation, you really kind of have to change that at the beginning of the school year. So Mrs. Golden, Mr. Justice, Mrs. Warren, myself, Mark Donnelly has helped with this because Mark's got a background in operations and transportation as well. We are looking at how we can make changes on pickups and things like that as we go into next school year, just to enhance the time a little bit. But again, it comes down to bus drivers, and we're working hard to find more. But congratulations to all of our bus drivers. They're such hard workers, and we appreciate everything they do. That's kind of my update, and I'll take questions on all this later. We're transitioning to a facility update. Since our board meeting, I won't go much further past our March board meeting. The core facility group is still working on schematic design. 2 board members are certainly part of that work. School administration, plus our architect GPD, construction manager CT Taylor, and Westfield Consulting. The work right now continues to be the internal high school building and the facility in general, but most of the work has been, certainly talking about what the internal part of the building will be. As I mentioned in the last meeting, we will expand that conversation to our junior high school and our 6th grade staff and students as we get input from them, probably more into next school year. As we remember, a big part of that project is also bringing our junior high school students, our 6th graders, to this building as well. Traffic flow has been an item that we've been discussing for the last 2 meetings. Any facility plan should drastically improve traffic flow on any campus, and we're working on that. That's not easy. That's not easy. That's a hard puzzle to solve, but we're working on that. We've done some surveys. We have a student survey that 163 of our students answered in March. We have a community survey out there right now that we're in the neighborhood of 450 to 475 responses right now. Some of the things that we've heard from our students so far, and this isn't going to surprise anybody. This is a lot of our visioning work is reflected here as well. But our students consistently mention, these are high school students, but the importance of natural light, the importance of openness, the importance of flexibility, improved seating, windows. And we joke about not having a whole lot of windows in this facility, and there is importance to that. They talked about the importance of common learning spaces in a new designed high school. It's been interesting, the feedback from the students on lockers, that I would use the word polarizing. On the one hand, a large number of our students are saying, I gotta have a locker. I gotta have a locker, gotta have a locker. And then you dive into it, and they say, what's in your locker? And they say nothing, right? How many times you go to your locker? Once, right? Lockers are polarizing. Lockers, from when I was in school, and I would say probably most of us when we were in school, what a locker was versus what a locker is now are very different. It was just interesting to see that feedback from the students. They're constantly asking for flexibility in space, improved seating. What are their favorite spaces? Their favorite spaces now in this school are the common areas. What are their least favorite spaces in this school? And this was disappointing for me to hear. Our students told us their least favorite spaces in this school were the classrooms. They didn't say the teachers were their least favorite. They didn't say, but they said the classrooms, because they're small, the tech is difficult, and there's no windows and all that type of stuff. So it was interesting to see. So that's some of the feedback from the students. I'm looking forward to the feedback from the community. And man, the survey is still open through the 15th. We might even extend it a day or two. It doesn't matter. We can extend it. It's in the newsletter. It's on the website. I have sent the link out. So please, if you haven't taken the time to fill the survey out, there's QR codes everywhere. Please do that. Okay, one more update from me before I turn this over probably to Mrs. Elias. On March 13th, we had a pretty significant storm blow through the campus. And, listen, everybody that's in Northeast Ohio, certainly in Medina County, was dealing with the same thing. But that storm did some damage. And I wanted to give an update to the board and community as to what happened and what we're working on. Because there's some things here. Okay, the district sustained a lot of damage in multiple areas across our campus on March 13th. Immediately, we started looking at the damage and try to coordinate with our insurance carriers what we were to do here, because we knew there was going to be an exhaustive claims process. Again, I'll give credit to Mark. He is kind of the person behind the scenes, is certainly with John Justice, our operations director, helping us work through this. The most immediate concern that we had was the I-beams over on the softball scoreboard. The softball scoreboard is a newer scoreboard. The I-beams sustained damage that required the immediate removal of that scoreboard because the I-beams were damaged. We didn't want the entire scoreboard to be damaged, so we had to take the scoreboard down. We were able to quickly work with a vendor that we know and trust. We got the I-beams reinstalled and the scoreboard is back up in time for the season. So that quick action avoided actual damage to the scoreboard. And again, kudos to John. I know you're in the back of the room there, Mr. Justice, for getting that worked on pretty quickly. The other areas of campus that sustained significant damage, we had roofing concerns in the elementary school and in the maintenance building. We had soffits, gutters, and downspout concerns in the field house, the Board of Education office, the maintenance building, and the bus garage. The fencing around the football stadium and the bus garage compound itself, fencing was damaged. The football stadium took on some damage. Okay, 2 sets of portable bleachers sustained some significant damage, so we're looking at that. The ticket booth on the southeast corner sustained major damage. That has now been taken down. And 2 light posts of the 4 light posts that are on that football stadium have significant concern. All the information is provided to our insurance carrier, and we are working with them closely to find out what the adjustments are going to be and determine coverage. We think there's certainly going to be some coverage insurance, but I can't tell you about, I believe everything's going to be covered, but we will get some coverage. To put it into finances, and Mark, I apologize, I'm doing something I know you don't like when I do, but I'm talking finances here a little bit. But the roofing damage right now is estimated just a shade over $66,000. The portable bleachers are just a shade under $21,000. The fencing is going to be roughly $9,600 or so to fix. The demolition of the remaining ticket booth was just a shade under $5,000. That scoreboard work that had to be done, $27,183. Again, we don't know what's covered by insurance yet, and we're working through this. These are things that had to be addressed immediately. And here's the major concern. 2 of those light poles over at the football stadium are going to, they have to be replaced. And if we're going to replace 2, we really need to be looking at replacing 4. And if we were to just pay for that cost right now, we are estimating that to be just a shade under $400,000. But if you go out and look at that football stadium, you will see the 2 visiting football light stands. They are leaning, okay? And that is going to have to be addressed, and we're going to have to address them very quickly. So I wanted to bring that up to speed, you all up to speed on that. Certainly, I'm sure there's a lot of comments and questions on that. I probably don't have a whole lot of answers, but I wanted to give an update to everything that happened from a facility damage perspective back on March 13th. I'm sure there's going to be questions on a lot that I gave. We'll hold off on questions on all of that if that's okay, so we move on further in the meeting. I know you were all writing your questions down. My last comment tonight, before I turn this over to Bridget for a math adoption, is just a thank you. I want to thank Carl is here today. I don't thank Carl enough for the work that he does, but our tech director, Mr. Walker, is here. But the reason I'm individualizing and thanking him tonight, Carl has been behind the scenes for the last probably 6 to 10 weeks, significantly updating our Strategics safety platform for our students and our staff. You know, and when Strategics sends something to me saying, hey, Mr. Superintendent, would you like to update your security platform for your students and staff? I say, yes, right? And then say, Carl. The amount of work has been amazing, Carl. You've continued to work through it, and I want to thank you for that. I know the work's not done, but knowing you were going to be here, thank you on behalf of our students and staff for continuing to make sure that we're safe through this strategic platform. Okay? So, I am going to suggest that we hold the questions. Okay, if that's okay with everybody, I think you all probably have a lot of questions. At this stage, I'd like to turn it over to our curriculum director, Mrs. Elias, who has an update for us on that.
Hello, and I'm going to have Mr. Call come up with me as well. So this is a little different configuration for me, so I'm going to figure out how I'm going to stand. Thank you for having us. Obviously, this is Neil Call from the high school. Do you want to introduce yourself? Because I always
Neil Call, mathematics.
There you go. So he always
Mathematics.
makes me chuckle.
I would be disappointed if I didn't hear you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we're here tonight to talk about the math adoption that we're proposing for the 26-27 school year. This is for grades 6 through 12. And our goal here as a school district is really to raise our standards and to really have our students have a rigorous education with regards to math and to align ourselves to the Ohio learning standards and so forth. So we had a team of teachers from grades 6 through 12 come together and be able to look at different vendors and different curricula throughout the state of Ohio. And we came up with these different curriculum resources that we would like to ask for you to consider. So our first one is called Envision Math, and this is through SABIS, and this is for grades 6 through 8. The next one is Big Ideas for grades 9 through 12. And Advanced Calculus, there's an Advanced Calculus series, and that Big Ideas and Advanced Calculus series are through Cengage, which is a vendor that houses both of those. Again, everything here, the whole team came together, they were very excited. All of these resources have really wonderful key features that are common for all. They're hands-on, which is a really exciting way for our students to learn. Students have an intuitive approach to the math curriculum. Everything is accessible. It's aligned to our Ohio learning standards and aligned from one grade to the next. Everything is analytical. This is top-tier learning for our students, again, raising our standards and our rigor. It is affiliated with STEM, which is real-world learning, again, rigorous, and all learners are going to receive a top-tier education. Then also, what do the programs offer as well? There is a digital platform for each of these programs, and this means that it's continuously changing and evolving and being updated to adhere to the standards as well as different types of modalities with work and so forth. There is a consumable text that is affiliated with each of these, so that gives you that balance, not just with digital, but also with the print program as well, so students get a physical consumable copy of a book. And then they are able to work through those plans and so forth, but then the digital aspect gives teachers some opportunity to change things and move things around if need be. Everything is differentiated for our students to reach all types of learners, whether they are needing some types of intervention or enrichment. To go into the Envision Math program for grades 6 through 8, they do follow 3 instructional models, and this is all about critical thinking. And that's one of our standards one of our competencies that we are obviously we feel is very important in our school district. So some of the areas that they use in these steps to make sure that our students are achieving that skill of critical thinking is we have project-based learning. That will be in the Envision Map curriculum, where students are able to investigate and use problem-solving skills, visual learning, and in the visual learning, they'll be able to build from one step to the next and be able to apply that knowledge. And then there's the assessment and the differentiation aspect of it. So when teachers are able to assess each of the areas of the math curriculum, they'll be able to target instruction and differentiate accordingly. What is very exciting also is the student engagement that's affiliated with the math adoption. This math adoption really gets students excited about math, which is what we want for all of our students. This is something that Neil talks about all the time, trying to get our students as excited as the teachers are. But one of the things that we feel is very exciting about the student engagement is the 3-act model, 3-act math modeling, which really poses some real-world problems and allows students to actually build models and apply that knowledge in problem solving. Then there also are some project-based learning opportunities that are affiliated with this program that are aligned with choices with STEM, creative arts, and there are even community-focused problems or project-based learning opportunities as well. And then the last part that really is exciting about the student engagement is students can walk into a classroom and there's what they call the math walks and data talks concept. They'll come into the classroom and they can have like a bell ringer type of question where students actually are able to connect those real world applications on a daily basis. Next, the program offers a digital adaptive tool for teachers, which is also very exciting. Teachers are able to customize their lessons, they're able to customize assessments and so forth for their students in this digital platform. They're able to adapt their lessons so that students are able to practice and problem solve, and reinforcement and enrichment is also a part of that adaptation. Integration, there's some tools in this program that are integrated. I think we all recall, maybe I'm talking about aging some of us here, but we had to bring our little graphic paper and all of that. Well, this is integrated into the digital platform, but in the digital platform, you can also print those out. So if you want to balance things out a little bit, that's also exciting. Calculators are in there and so forth. And again, there's that engagement piece that I talked about before. Now the high school level. So Cengage is again the vendor that houses the different programs, the curriculum that will be affiliated with the high school, and actually 8th grade up, because we do have Algebra 1 in the 8th grade. But the program, Cengage will cover Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, Calculus, and Advanced Placement. So the first part that the curriculum will cover is Big Ideas Math, and that's for Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And what's really exciting about this is, again, there's this balance about the conceptual knowledge of math, and we are going to make sure that students, the whole curriculum is vertically aligned through this particular program. It is, again, very rigorous. There is a technology linked to that real-life STEM application. And then finally, the assessment data-driven piece where we're able to assess our students, be able to really provide targeted instruction for students who are going to grow at all different levels of their math curriculum. So to go into this a little bit further, Algebra 1 is our first course that would be exposed to big ideas. And there would be a focus there for transitioning to that symbolic reasoning, which is part of Algebra 1. The key concepts or topics that would be covered in Algebra 1, big ideas would be linear equations and inequalities, exponential functions and quadratic functions. And then the goal here is, again, to have the algebraic fluency and the ability to model real-world scenarios with functions. Then we have geometry, and I might even have you jump in because you've taught geometry for many years. But the focus here is to, again, understand the geometric properties through transformation and formal proofs. Then the key topics would be congruence, similarity, trigonometry, and coordinate geometry. And students would then be able to master those deductive and reasoning, visualizing mathematical relationships in space. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I would add for the Algebra 1 and geometry with the state testing as it applies, the math hasn't changed 400 years. But the approach has changed in the last 10 years. The standards, of course, have been more focused since some of these have first come around. And then the teachers that have looked at the materials actually like the workbooks that they can work. Do an example on the board, the kids have the workbooks, they can get right into it. There's an opportunity for differentiation, as you mentioned, so that was, they like that feature of it too. And I like having a program that has the vertical alignment, so you have opportunity for review, but not a forced repeat of something where you have to go through skip sections or something like that.
And then you can spiral back as well. Nice. Yes, thank you. And then Algebra 2 is on the same realm as Algebra 1. Again, they're extending the function knowledge and introducing complex mathematical systems, and you can see the key topics. And again, our goal here is really to align this to pre-calculus and college level STEM coursework.
And the Algebra 2 being the required course for graduation, it's nice to have the series, so they're kind of familiar with the process, and they can succeed all the way through the 3.
And so now we have the K-12 web assigned, which is pre-calculus, calculus, and advanced placement. So here we are again streamlining, we are making sure students are prepared for the AP courses, prepared for the College Board exams that are at the end of the year. We're really trying to provide that rigor that's affiliated with beyond high school, whether it is college career, or college or career readiness. And
Yeah, the calculus was kind of my focus for this one. And our textbooks that we're currently using are still pretty good. But they're from 2009. And the AP testing they have trends that they follow. They do certain things more than others, different years. And we just kind of gotten a little bit away from what the trend now is, or the trend's gotten away from where our books are focused. We have additional material from the online, from the AP websites, but the books will have, the future book will have more AP level rigor questions built into it, and so we don't have to bring in as many external sources as necessary.
And just went into a little bit more here about, again, pre-calculus and pre-calculus AP. Again, the foundation, again, our whole goal here is really to provide that rigor, really to provide kids with that opportunity to just show what they know and to challenge them. Again, if we're able to give them those problem-solving opportunities in our high school experience, we just don't know where they're going to go from here. It's so exciting to have something a little bit more adaptable for our teachers to use and our students to really be exposed so that they really know the why. And they're going to use that information in everything they do with pre-calc and pre-calc AP. One other aspect that we are going to add to this particular math adoption is we are going to have a class set of the fast track to a 5 for pre-calculus for AP pre-calc. And this is a technique or a workbook that really provides practice exams, practice problems, and it really helps students really prepare for that AP test.
And we've been, AP pre-calculus is relatively new, probably know, but the AP calculus has been around a long time. And we've, over the years, gathered some of these books, and they're great resources, but like I said, there are newer versions that have focus on things that the AP focuses on. So it's nice to have a new set for sure, especially for the
And then a little bit more about the calculus aspect. Again, this is, again, our gold standard for high school advanced placement courses. And again, Neil can jump in at any time. It is truly aligned with our AP assessments. There are instructional tools in here for our teachers to utilize and really have our students have interactive modules and tutorials available to them. They have personalized learning that really does help motivate, but it also helps break down and really give us those multi-step problems so students can be learn on their own, but at the same token have their teacher to work with them. There are so many assessments and analytical assignments in here that are helpful for our students to really be on track. They can see the real life response, they can see quick responses to their submissions. Things are graded for them, there's examples, there's explanations involved in all of this, so it really does help students prepare them for more of a college type of experience. Again, AP style practice exams, high rigor, conceptual clarity, the concepts, the high quality visualization, they have 3D aspects to it. It's very exciting. And then again, having things aligned to STEM is so appropriate and practical for real life experiences. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, our current pre-calculus and calculus doesn't have an online option or a functioning online option. And this would be nice to have just another resource for the teachers and the students really separately. As well as if you were to research, I did a little research on my own for the highest rated AP calculus high school text, and this Larson book is offered, is the highest rated one. So that's the first place I looked, and then comparing it to our current one. Our current one's actually pretty good, still second or third. This one's first.
Very good. And just to end and conclude here again, with this proposal for our math adoption, again, we are looking at something that is very accessible for our students using Envision 6.8, Big Ideas 9.12, and the Advanced Placement Calculus Series. We really feel that this is so accessible to our students. They have the hands-on opportunities, very intuitive for our students. The rigor is awesome. It is aligned with our high learning standards and aligned in keeping our students on track for much bigger opportunities beyond high school. It's analytical. That top tier learning is exactly what we're seeking. And then again, affiliated with STEM, all learners will be able to, we can meet them where they are and raise those standards so that they can actually achieve further. It's differentiated. We have enrichment opportunities, and we also have opportunities for students that might be struggling, so we can give them intervention. And then lastly, we talked about how this program allows us that digital component, but the balance with that print component as well. So we do believe that this is a worthwhile program for our students. We're very excited to give new resources to our high school and our junior high and intermediate teachers and students so that they can obviously flourish in math as well. So we will hopefully get your affirmation for this for a first read. You'll have an opportunity to look through the materials until our next board meeting, where we would ask for a potential approval. Any questions?
You know, Mrs. Lash, just a comment, because what you said there at the end, I think is really important. The process is now, the process is later on this evening. We'll ask for the board's approval, in essence, to do a first read, right? This was a presentation, and you look at it tonight, and not only you as board members, but the community has a chance to take a look and comment on it, and then we'll bring it back in May, hopefully for a second read, so to say. You know, as I listened to the presentation, thank you, Mr. Call, thank you, Mrs. Elias. You know, there has to be a commitment. There has to be a commitment if we're going to provide the appropriate resources for our students. There has to be a commitment to do the work. There has to be a commitment to provide the resources. There has to be a commitment to make certain that the curricular resources that we have for our students are the best available. And there has to be a commitment for professional development of our teachers in order to provide it.
And we have the professional development being placed accordingly when everything's been adopted.
But it's also a lot of work.
It is. And our teachers work on it.
So our teachers for the work they're doing, a compliment to you for the work you've done. And thank you for both of you for being involved in this. This is exciting, and I'm a social studies guy.
I'm excited, I'm English.
Okay. Mr. Call, I'm not coming to your calculus class.
You're welcome.
No. You would not embarrass me because you don't do that. You could easily embarrass me. But no, thank you both. Again, you know, I don't want to take away any questions the board may have, but this this was what we needed to do tonight, to get the presentation and ask for your approval later.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Mrs. Elias and Mr. Call. I just want to teach math again, if you'll let me. It's very exciting.
Well, they would love to have you come in as a guest.
Yes, speaker, absolutely.
Not calculus, but anything else.
Crossing.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there were an awful lot of superintendent updates for you there. Before we move away and move over to Mr. Donnelly, on anything I presented, if anybody has any questions or comments, I know we have time for board comments at the end of the meeting too, but I presented a lot. I know all of you were writing some things down. If anybody wants to ask questions or comments now, certainly I'll take them, or we have a
I have a question. As far as everything that you said, the storm damage, somewhere around 500,000. Is insurance covering that? I mean, they should, right?
Yeah, well, as I said, Kim, we don't know the amount, right? I mean, that's what we're working through. I mean, the storm blew through everywhere, so there's all kinds of insurance claims. I know, Mr. Justice and Mr. Donnelly have been working on this. Of course, we want everything to be totally covered. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, we're working. Mark?
Yeah,
you have a
just,
comment? Sorry.
yeah, because 2 of the 4 light poles are damaged, the $400,000, the max we would get would be half, because the other 2 really aren't damaged, but it wouldn't have a great look with the telephone poles and the older light fixtures. Also, since the light poles didn't come down, the percentage of what they would pay for may be very minimal. But we do have an issue. Take a look at those poles leaning. I don't know if it's 10 years down the road or what, but we have to address them. And I don't think it's 10 years we have to address them. I think it's 10 years or whatever. They got to change. You take a look at them, they're leaving. It's for the best interest of the community and the fans attending games.
Yeah, we're going to have to make some decisions. I mean, there's probably ways to not replace them. There's ways of how we replace them. I mean, but the reality is, joke it's April, but it soon will be August, September, and October.
Absolutely.
And listen, I'm not an engineer. I know we've had some engineers come out and look at it, give us a formal opinion on the 2 that are leaning, but take a look at them. They're leaning. Right? I mean, that's not going to.
One more thing to add. Jeff kind of gave me a little bit of credit about this whole thing. When I talked to the insurance company, John had already talked to him 3 or 4 times. John was all over this. Very small. John, thank you for all your work.
So I'd like to make another point. Just this one storm here is 500,000. A couple years ago, we had a tornado that came through here. I don't think it did much damage here, but my house is 5 minutes away, and it took down a bunch of trees and damaged our roof and everything. I think storms are getting worse. So I just want to make sure that we know that this storm right here is somewhere around $500,000. We have to make sure that we have that money in our budget, because nobody knows what's going to happen. Our budget supposedly is so tight that, we can't give back money to the community or anything, but we have to make sure that a storm can come through and do $500,000 worth of damage. And then I have a second question. I know that you said that there were some cars damaged. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, Kim, I'm sorry, you're correct. I didn't add that. We had a number of people that were in our car line when that storm developed. We had, I'm going to say minimal, and if your car was damaged, that's not, you don't think it was minimal. But there was certainly some damage. We'll work those families. We've been in touch with those families. I don't know where that stands. And really, we had. I mean, there's nothing funny about what I'm going to say, but what happened back there is we had some portable bathrooms that blew over, and those portable bathrooms actually hit the cars. So that's what happened. So, and we had some parents that were actually in the storm moving the portable bathrooms so that it wouldn't hit other cars. But yeah, we did have some. I apologize, I didn't put that in there. But we're working with those families as best we can. But that's an insurance claim.
Okay.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
All right, thank you for your patience with all my updates. A lot of that was good student stuff, so that was great. And thank you again to Mr. Call and Mrs. Elias. At this stage, I will gladly cede the microphone to the treasurer.
Okay, tonight, in my first section are non-consent items, which each of these items will require a separate vote by the board. The first item, I'm asking for the vote, the board to approve a motion to transfer some funds. They're student activity funds that are inactive. They're sitting there in an account, have not been used for a few years. And we're talking about the Stand By Me account at the high school. That's $1,816.42 in it. And the SAD account, Students Against Drunk Drivers, has $805.82 in it. I'm asking the board to approve transferring the funds from those inactive accounts to the Hope Squad, which is the student activity account that more closely aligns with their purpose than any other student activity account. And that would require a motion and a vote.
So moved. I'll second.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, this Hope Squad, is this something new, or is there already money in there?
I don't know about new, it's been here since I've been here.
Hope
But the
Squad's been, Kim, I can only speak to the 2.5 years I've been here, but Hope Squad is a school-based organization that's been around for years.
I think it's students helping other students who are, have issues, depression, et cetera. And I may wait off base there, but it's students helping students.
So Mark, you're correct, it is also significantly suicide prevention.
Oh, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Kuya,
Yes.
Mr. Salazar,
Yes.
Mrs. Silich,
Yes.
Mrs. Bavarchi,
Yes.
and Mrs. Gunkel.
Yes.
Okay. The second item I have tonight is, this is simply an athletic sponsor list. If you look at the item, is the fee sheet in here? I don't see.
It is.
Okay. The fees are, because they're fees charged by the board should approve all fees we charge. Just like you approve lunch fees or pay-to-play fees or anything like that. And since the athletic department has a very active list of sponsors and all sorts of opportunities for many, many different sponsorship plans, such as banners and I don't know, logos on wrestling mats and all kinds of things. We felt it was important that they had a established list, so everybody pays the same price if you're sponsoring the baseball team or whatever, with a banner on the fence. And also, people know what they're going to be charged up front. There are vendors who want to sponsor at a different level, and they negotiate an individual contract, which that's all written out, and that would have to be approved by the board as well. But just for a standard fee list for sponsors, this is being submitted to the board for your approval, so it's an established amount.
So moved. I'll second.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'm sorry, somebody else?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to verify again, where does this money go? And I know you answered last time, I think.
These funds go into the athletic 300 fund,
Okay.
because there's an awful lot of expenses for team uniforms and balls and bats and everything else we provide for the students. John, you can probably be more specific, but it just helps supplement the athletic programs.
And someone else had a question?
Yeah, I just, every year this sponsorship form gets better and better, and I just want to just say it's very well done in my opinion. I mean, I don't look at a ton of these obviously, but nice job. It's really well done. We used to not ever have anything nearly like this, so this is nice because it's organized and it's really equitable across any business level, so that you're not playing favorites in any manner, and I really just appreciate it, John. Good job.
And then one last thing is I know I asked for, or I think Mr. Stanton asked for a list of who we have. Is that possible? Just to get a list of who's sponsoring the kids?
Yes, if it wasn't, I thought it was on the original email with all of the things that were used in the athletic initiative account. If it wasn't, I will resend it. And then also on the athletic website at the bottom, it says our sponsors and their logos to scroll through.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kuya,
Yes.
Mr. Salazar,
Yes.
Mrs. Silich,
Yes.
Mrs. Bavarchi,
Yes.
and Mrs. Gunkel.
Yes.
Okay, third item on the agenda, it appears very similar to the first item, but it's way different. It's another transfer, but what this is a series of funds that are grant funds or whatever that, the grant amount is limited. When we spend, sometimes we overspend the amount of the grant, so funds go into the, so I'm asking to transfer $6,300.43 into a whole list of different funds that are slightly in the negative due to different grants and things that just happen in the natural order of things. Just as an example, if there's payroll coming out of a grant, a federal grant for Title I or special ed, if someone earns $2,000 in payroll, but the grant only has $1,000 left in it, we're going to overspend the grant by $1,000 and have to make it up in general fund anyway. That's not exactly what happened here, but it's similar, where we just overspent the grant, and now this time of year we fill in those gaps. So I'm asking the board to approve the transfer from the general fund into all of these, the food service fund, local grants, OSHA athletic funds where we hold tournaments and we spend a little bit more than what we're provided, as well as some federal and state grants.
I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call?
Mrs. Gunkelman,
Yes.
Mr. Kuyak,
Yes.
Mr. Salazar,
Yes.
Mrs. Silich,
Yes.
and Mrs. Bavarchi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I move on to my consent item?
Please do.
Okay. I have 5 different items under the consent agenda tonight. I have the standard monthly financial statements from the month of March, which will be posted to the website if they're not already posted to the website. These show a wide variety of financial information, including our bank statement, totals, etc. So if you're curious on our financials, please visit the website. Also, we have a broken overhead projector with a piece of glass on it that's busted and screwed beyond repair. We're asking to dispose of that overhead projector. I also have a certificate for the rates and amounts now that the Budget Commission has authorized our taxes for fiscal 27. We have to approve the rates and amounts that they've authorized so we can send it to the state. And finally, there's 2 items, the updated estimated resources and our updated amended appropriations. And resources basically is our revenue streams, but it's not just revenue. It's cash on hand at the beginning of the year, plus revenue. And this year includes transfers. And if you look at that total on the estimated revenues, there's almost $10 million in transfers in here because of all the different things that I've talked about previously in board meetings. But also the the amended appropriations, that's updating our budget to show expected expenses and actually slightly more, because if we budget too close and we spend just a few dollars more, we spend more than our appropriations, and the auditors don't like that. So I'm asking the board to approve the amended estimated resources and amended appropriations. Are there any questions on any of those 5 items?
I have questions.
Sure.
On the form that I'm looking at that's going to this auditor, the Medina auditor, it says we have $98,879,712.03.
Okay,
That's everything.
That's not what we have in cash. That is our beginning cash for all funds, plus the revenues projected to receive for the year, plus transfers. Transfers are money we already have. We're just transferring it out of the 016 into the general fund. That happened earlier in the year. That was $3.8 million. Because the 016 fund was going away, we had to move all monies into the general fund. It looks like revenue, but it's money we already have. Also transferring money from the general fund into capital projects fund. We're taking money from 0701 sales tax dollars or 003 PI dollars and transferring those into the 070 account. It looks like revenue because it's a transfer, it's money coming in. But there's $10 million worth of transfers, roughly, that it looks like we have 98. If we did the same thing next year without all the transfers, it'd be closer to 88 million. That's beginning cash, plus all estimated revenues from all funds. So you're talking student activities, you're talking athletics, you're talking all the grants we get, you're talking state grants, you're talking reimbursements we get from the state and the state reimbursements, the state foundation payments, and our property taxes, of course. But it's a wide variety of items. In the cash report that is part of the financial statements, the different columns show starting cash, month-to-date received, year-to-date received, month-to-date spent, year-to-date spent, and then fund balance. And if you, it's a lot to go through, but if you went through that and dived into it, you'd see where all those numbers come from and where the $98 million. It looks like we have a lot of cash, but we don't have all of that. It's like I said, some of it's transfers. It's simply moving money between accounts.
All right, and then I had questions on the capital projects fund. I know we have, this says we have 47 million. I know we have 32 million that was transferred. Then we approved the 1.9, so we have about 33.9.
Okay.
Where is the other money coming from?
Because the 003 fund is capital projects, and
Right.
071 is also capital projects. We started the year with money in the bank, plus the revenues coming in. That's where the total comes from. I can sit down with you and go over it, line by line and show you all of that, but it's all three of those funds, beginning cash, plus revenues, plus transfers.
There's an extra 6 million. I was just wondering where that came from.
Extra 6.
Yeah, let's see. 32, let's see what we have. So we've got the sales tax, we got the PI. We have $8,420,000. What is that? It's in the capital project self-fund, it's in the 070. Right here, I can show you. I don't have it, I have to flip it on that. Right here, capital project self-fund, and then this is where did that come from? So that makes 40 million.
That was a projected amount of transfers and interest earned. So there's going to be $2 million worth of interest earned, roughly.
Mhm.
There's going to be $1 million from the bond fund transfer. There's going to be $2.4 million between the 071 and the 003 total going into that. And 3.2 million more was projected to go in there. Because of what the state has done to our property taxes and interest to keep our general fund balance well funded, I was moving that back to 2.2 million instead of 3.2 million, just to keep money in the general fund. We'll still have money for our building. Instead of 63 million in the bank at the end of this fiscal year, we'll have 62 million. But that kind of money will raise at least $3 million over a 3-year period, probably 4.5 million.
So the 3.2 is the emergency levy.
It's not the emergency levy. It's general fund money coming in. General fund consists of many, many things.
Okay, so this 8.4 million, are we voting on that, or is that automatically going in?
Those transfers are voted on as we
As it
transfer.
goes?
And we've transferred the $1 million already. The other transfers will be coming up in the next month as our final collections are made. Probably in May, I'll bring up a series of transfers for the board to review and approve if they choose to do so.
And then one last question, that the Budget Commission said that they wanted us to voluntarily give back 2.5 million. Okay, that's not gonna happen anymore. I just wanna know when we decided that, when we discussed that as a board, that we weren't gonna give the money back to the people.
What the Budget Commission was looking at, their task was to approve our fiscal 27 budget. In our fiscal 27 budget, as I explained in my letter, we are showing the surplus that in fiscal 27 of only $1.3 million. To give back $2.5 million would put us in a deficit spending. And I'm not sure that how the County Budget Commission sees how schools operate or not, but we rely on cash carryover to keep us off the ballot. For every extra year we're not on the ballot, that's a win. We don't want to have to go on the ballot. And taking away money from us now means we're on the ballot sooner in the future. So the budget they were approving would have intentionally put us in a deficit spending situation, and that truly is not the purpose of the Budget Commission.
So we as a board, though, never discussed the 2.5 million, giving it back.
No.
And I'm assuming next year it's gonna be the same type of thing, though. That seems to be the trend of what the
No,
Budget Commission is doing.
the budget, the tax budget is submitted to our board to be approved in January. And our board approved the tax budget, which my board didn't ask me to reduce the tax budget. They approved it as is, so I submitted to the county for their approval.
Anything else from anyone? Okay, thank you, Mark. We're going to move on to the superintendent's recommendation.
Yes, thank you again, Mrs. Guffman, and thank you everybody for hanging with us. Just a few more items to get through here this evening. I'm going to start off, I've got two non-consent agenda items, so these will all require an individual motion and hopefully an approval by the board. The first one is you have an opportunity tonight to approve an agreement with us with Rush Truck Center to purchase transportation fleet safety cameras for our buses, 20 of them. A portion of this purchase is being covered by the Ohio Department of Education Workforce School Bus Safety Grant. Mrs. Elias, thank you. You have been our grant guru for the years you've been here. So that, obviously, the grant came to us through your hard work, so I appreciate that. So you will see that this is upgrades for 20 of our buses for safety arms, safety harnesses, camera system upgrades for 20 of our buses. So I would ask for your consideration for that tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I just want to add on how impressive it is with the grant writing capabilities and the success rate. It was not a small grant amount, and when you look at it across the state of Ohio, it's significantly more than a lot of the other districts. So I don't know what we put in that application, but it's awesome, and thank you, Bridget, for that.
It's impressive.
It really is. Kudos.
And I just want to agree with what Mr. Kuyaga says, because I've written grants before. It is not an easy process. So that's a great skill for you to have, and we certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Roll call,
I'm
please.
sorry.
Oh.
I mean, should we know, I think it's important because I'm sure it'll make it somewhere out, into the community, but the grant amount was for $45,412, so just a little over $45,000, and I think the invoice for Rush is $94,646, so over half the cost of updating everything again.
About 48%.
Now roll call.
Okay, Mrs. Pavarchi,
Yes.
Mr. Kuya,
Yes.
Mrs. Sisilich.
I'm sorry, what are we, I thought we had to.
This is a non-consent
Just for
item,
the transportation.
just for the fleet safety camera.
Thank you, yes.
Mr. Salazar
Yes.
and Mrs. Gunkelman.
Yes.
Thank you. My next non-consent item this evening is no cost to the district. This is a cooperative purchasing program, another one that we would like to get involved with. So I'm asking you to approve the attached membership for us, the school district, to participate in the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program. This is a furniture cooperative that we're looking actually for some high school furniture. And there's a cooperative out there that will reduce the cost for us if we're a member. So I'm asking for your consideration tonight to become a member of this cooperative.
I so move.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mrs. Gunkelman,
Yes.
Mr. Salazar,
Yes.
Mr. Kuya,
Yes.
Mrs. Sisilich,
Yes.
and Mrs. Pavarchi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll keep going. We are now on the superintendent recommendations for consent agenda items, so we will vote on these at the end of my recommendations under consent agenda. The first one is for your consideration to approve the Buckeye Preschool Frog Street curriculum. This is preschool curriculum. It was presented last month as the first presentation with our teachers, and Mrs. Kashani presented that with us. So I ask for your consideration for that tonight so we can get that moving. So in essence, this is a second reading. Next thing I would ask is for the approval with Goodwill Industries out of Akron. This is an agreement for a work experience for our special education students. to get some work experience at Goodwill. We've got a great partnership with them for years, and I would ask for that to continue. This will be for the 26-27 school year. Next is policy 754009. As we've talked about for a while, we are required by the state of Ohio to have an artificial intelligence policy in place before the beginning of next school year. We had a first read of it last month. This would be the second read. We had no public comment on it. Kudos to our teachers, and again, Mrs. Elias, you are getting complimented tonight, as you should. You led the Artificial Intelligence Committee, along with a number of our teachers, and you looked at model policies from the state of Ohio and compared, and that is what we are approving this evening with your consideration tonight. So thank you, Bridget, and the committee. The committee did very important. Carolyn Usner was on that as well. Very good. Okay, next, our cooperation with the Summit Edge County Service Center for Kids. This is our TOPS extended year program. This will allow 2 of our special needs to attend the 2026 Kids First TOPS extended year program this summer, 2 of our students. Next, I ask for your approval of our contract between us and the Summit County Educational Service Center. This is for audiology services for the 26-27 school year. Based off the needs of our students, we are asking for 17 days of service through the Summit County ESC and audiology. Mrs. Kashanik is the person who orients this for the school district. The next one is also through special education. This is Positive Education Program through our partnership with the ESC of Northeast Ohio. This is educational purposes for our students that might need help services in the 26-27 school year. For an idea, the range of cost of this ranges between, on the low end, $320, $325 per day to $480 to $500 per day. This is for next. Next is our date books, our student handbooks for Buckeye High School students. Later on tonight, we will do a first read of the actual information that's in the date books. Tonight is my request of you to allow 500 of the books to be purchased at a cost of about $1,500. These would be obviously for Mr. Snook and the students of the Buckeye High School. Next is our annual update with suburban school transportation. This is for, again, pupil transportation that we need, that we can't provide for us through our transportation services. This is usually special education student, specific student special education service transportation. We've partnered with Suburban for years. This is an expensive venue for us, as it is for all school districts, but it is required. Not only is it the right thing to do, but it's required by law for our special education students that need transportation. And last, as mentioned earlier today, we added to the agenda the Future Farmers of America overnight trip that will take place April 30th through May 1st with Mr. Norris and his amazing students that will go down to Columbus at the end of this month. We're going to move to personnel, and I'm going to start by asking Dr. Robert Winton to join us at the podium. Dr. Winton, good evening.
Members of the board, Superintendent Stanton, Treasurer Donnelly, I just wanted to take a second to extend my thanks and gratitude for being considered as the next curriculum director here at Buckeye Local Schools. I know I have some big shoes to fill, and I hope to continue the work that Ms. Elias has currently done.
Hey, Rob, let me set you up.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, thank you for being patient. That's okay. Very good. And Mrs. Winton, thank you for hanging with us too. All right, so I want to talk about the process that brings Dr. Winton to us. Then I want to talk a little bit about, some of his background that makes him, I believe, the next candidate for us, or the next person for us to be our curriculum director. Rob, thank you for being here this evening, and we're very happy that you are here. The process itself to replace our curriculum director, whenever you post a very valuable and important job like this, there's always, there's a little bit of a fear. You don't know what the market, you don't know what the pool of candidates is going to be. And we were very, very pleased once again to have a very viable and outstanding candidate pool. We created a committee that was consisted of administrators and teachers throughout the entire district. Our teacher union leadership was part of the committee. And we ended up bringing in looking at, reviewing 27 applicants that I would use the word viable. And by viable, I mean that not every person who applies for a job is viable. You've got to match what you are looking for the job itself. There are 27 applicants that I would consider viable. It was an outstanding pool. Why? Because this school district continues to be a place that is attractive for people to come to school to and to work in. Okay? And that is a compliment to the professional staff that works here and a compliment to this district. We brought in 8 people for interviews. We had a robust first round. All 8 of those candidates were absolutely qualified to be our curriculum. All 8. Okay. From that 8, we came to 4, and we had 4 what I would call semifinalist, finalist round. We took care of that. Once we got through that very difficult interview process, I don't know, Dr. Winton, maybe you agree or disagree, I would think that would have been a very challenging interview process myself. Okay? But the committee unanimously said Dr. Winton was our choice. And for them to say that with the talent of the candidate pool is extremely impressive. So from there, we started going on a conversation with Dr. Winton as to see whether we could find a fit for him here. That really was kind of taking place Friday afternoon, even into the weekend, I think. Every reference checked on Dr. Winton was outstanding. And to kind of summarize, I would just say I had multiple people say to me, if you have the opportunity to get Dr. Rob Winton to come to your school district, be your curriculum director, you absolutely have to do that. He is going to be an outstanding hire for you. For Dr. Winton himself, a brief background on him before he comes here. He is currently an administrator in North Regional Schools. Prior to that, for 10 years, he was the principal of Rocky River High School, the head principal. Under his leadership, although we are clearly not hiring a high school principal here today, because we have an outstanding high school principal in Mr. Snook, I'm going to talk a lot about Rob's leadership while he was the principal of Rocky River High School. Under his leadership, Rocky River High School was the top performing high school in the state proficiency test scores in the nation for students in 2024, according to a U.S. News and World Report. In 2022 and 2023, under Dr. Winton's leadership, Rocky River High School was the top performing high school in Ohio. The performance index, Rocky River High School was identified as a national blue ribbon school while he was the principal there. Dr. Winton was nominated as Principal of the Year, and it's interesting, I found something out. I knew Dr. Winton was nominated as Principal of the Year because in my former life, I was very involved in OESSA as a high school principal myself. And I dug into this a little bit because I know the director of the OSSA very well, Dr. Freeman. And I talked to Dr. Freeman and I said, Dr. Freeman, I believe Rob was the principal of the year. And Dr. Freeman said, actually, no, he wasn't. He would have been, but he actually asked for his consideration to take him out. And the reason for that, I don't want to speak for you, Rob, but the reason for that was Dr. Winton was a board of director for OSSA. And he didn't want that look of, I'm being recognized for an organization that I am one of the leaders at. So I thought that spoke a lot about it. Because when you are recommended for those type of things, you are not self-recommended. It is somebody that is recommending that for you. Dr. Winton has a doctorate in education, and his dissertation is on and focus was on school safety and active shooter mitigation, which was certainly a different dissertation. As I read through it, Rob, I can't tell you I read the whole thing. I did read through a good portion of it, but to see a dissertation of that subject and the importance of that subject, to me, said a lot about you. As I mentioned, he is a past president of OSSA Board of Directors. He's an educational advocate and has had the opportunity to speak at the Ohio House of Representatives on behalf of public schools in the state of Ohio. And he is first and foremost a student and staff. We are very pleased to have Rob potentially be our curriculum director. And with that, I will gladly turn this over to you for some.
I appreciate the introduction. You kind of talked about all the things I was going to cover. So I'll briefly just talk a little bit about my family, since I come from a family of educators. And I want to thank my wonderful wife for sitting next to me tonight. She is a phys ed teacher at the Bay Village City School Districts, where our 3 children go. I have a child in 5th grade, 3rd grade, and 1st grade, so they're in the thick of it, they're having fun. Both of my parents were teachers. My dad was a teacher and basketball coach at Phoenix Riverside. My mom was a teacher at Menor. And my in-laws, Kathy and Jim Borgen, were elementary paraprofessional and a custodial and maintenance worker, high school worker for their careers. So I come from a family of educators. It's a passion of mine, and it's something that I focus on every day. I also believe in really trying to work with teams in dynamic settings and getting results. And I believe I've been pretty effective at that in the past, and I hope to be effective at that here. So again, I just wanted to extend my gratitude for the opportunity to be here tonight, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Emmett.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going, Mrs. Dunkelman, that's okay, we've got some, yep?
Yes.
Good? Okay, thank you. Sorry if I stepped on you there, Barbara, a little bit. Okay, the rest of this stuff is pretty normal personnel information. Start off, we've got some renewals of our principals, and I'm always glad to see this. Start off with Mrs. Rivera. We know Mrs. Rivera was here earlier tonight, but she's over doing kindergarten registration this evening. Sarah's been with us for a number of years, and I'm pleased that she is going to be with us. I'm suggesting that we offer her a 3-year contract, so Sarah will remain the principal of Buckeye Primary School, where she does a great job for us. Second principal renewal this evening is for Mr. Wilson. Mike is here this evening again. Mike, thank you for being here. Mike has been here with us for 2 years, and I am recommending that we continue on with Mike and the good work he is doing over in the building. And we offer Mike a 2-year contract this evening. So Mike, thank you for your job and what you do every day. It's greatly appreciated, and we're glad we're going to continue working with you. Let's move into certified world. You see a number of 1-year limited contract recommendations. These are for our teachers that are not on a continuing or non-expiring contract. You see those listed for your consideration this evening. Along the lines of a continuing recommendation, you also see that we have Mr. Wolstein and Mrs. Schrader that have earned the right to be considered for a continuing contract, and Ms. Supan as well. Rachel's in there as well, so 3 people for your consideration this evening. The next thing is standard operational procedure for this time of year. You see our 3 title teachers. They are on expiring contracts, so an annual thing that we do is we will not renew them until we know what our title funding is and our needs for the following year. That is a standard April Board of Education action that I'm asking for this evening. As we continue on through personnel, we see some FMLA items in there for people that have either returned or are going out on FMLA over the course of the next month. The next item is always happy yet sad. We have some resignations and retirements this evening. I'll start with the retirements. First of all, I want to talk about Miss Axe Michelle. Has been with us for a number of years and has done so many different things. She is currently teaching at our junior high school in health and PE. Mr. Sauer, she is one of the most positive influences here in the building, Chris. And I know that you're shaking your head, yes. We are so going to miss Michelle. We're happy that she's retiring. She's ready to retire. She's excited for it. But we're going to miss her. In a time frame that Miss Axe has been with us, she's done so many things, right? She has been a 5th grade teacher. She has been an ELA teacher at the junior high. She's teaching health and PE at the junior high now. She was a school counselor for a while. So she's been with us a number of years, and we wish her all the best going forward. In addition to that, Mrs. Christopher has indicated she is also going to retire at the end of this school year. Diane has been a 4th grade teacher. She has been with us, I believe, pretty much her entire career, all the way back before, I think like 1998. It's been that long. So primarily, Diane has been teaching 4th grade for us. She also has taught a little bit of 5th grade. So again, I don't know that I saw this one coming. So I was a little surprised when we got this notification this week. And obviously, I reached out on behalf of the board and myself to thank her. And we asked for that consideration for tonight. And then you also see one of our high school math teachers is resigning. Ms. Stevens is resigning. She has been offered a job where she graduated from school. Oh. So that's why she is always a draw to come home.
Sure.
Okay, keep moving through personnel supplementals. You see two there for Ms. Ludwig. One is to continue to let her be our gifted stipend coordinator for next school year, and one is for her to be our Safety Town Director for 2026. I don't know if Safety Town would exist if Vicki was not the Safety Town Director, but she does a great job, and we're glad she wants to continue doing that. There's a stipend tonight. That is for Ms. Rivera. Ms. Rivera has been involved in an OLI for principals improvement, instructional improvement program since last June. She volunteered to be in this, OLI 4 work. We use a silly term. You can either volunteer for OLI 4 work, you could also be voluntold for OLI 4 work. Sarah was not voluntold. She volunteered for this work. It's an inclusive instructional leadership cohort, and when you complete the work, it does come with a stipend, so there's a $300 stipend coming back for Sarah, but we have to take action to accept it before we give it to her. We have one substitute, a new substitute that will be a certified substitute that will be working with us through our partnership with the Educational Service Center. Very glad that Mrs. Lempner is with us. She's an exempt employee, but she is our prevention coordinator, so I'll ask for her approval of a 2-year contract this evening. Let's move into classified personnel. You see that we have offered Mr. Cook a cleaner position. This is a 1-year limited contract effective on the 15th for your approval this evening. We have an FMLA adjustment for you there as Ms. Inman has returned to work, and we're glad to see her back and healthy. We have a substitute there. Ms. Stites is joining us as a substitute secretary. Supplementals, Mr. Myers presented the a number of fall athletic supplementals this evening for your consideration. You see those. We have two corrections there for Mr. Dawson, who's our softball coach, and for Mr. Steppenbacher, who is track, right, John?
Yes.
Yes, track, very good. And then we have a resignation, Mr. Liggle resigning as assistant softball coach. The reason for this, Mark thought that he was going to be able to be here to be an assistant softball coach, and due to an unexpected change in his work site, he cannot get here in time to be a softball coach. So Mark put his resignation in because of that change. Volunteers, man, we have a large number of volunteers. We've got a Washington DC trip coming up on April 29th through May 1st. So you see all of our teachers that are going. Thank you, Mr. Sauer, for getting our teachers to go, and for you making the trip as well. As a veteran of those trips, I love them. I'm glad you're going. And I'm glad the kids are going. And parents are going there as well, too. I think we might have a board member that might have 2 board members. We have 1 for sure that's got a child going. Roy, you've got an 8th grader? No, 9th grader. That's right. You're talking 9th grader. Okay. We see some parent volunteers, also some staff volunteers there for the Onslander Nature Field Trip that's coming up April 28th through the 30th. We've got a Buckeye High School Music in the Park activity taking place on May 8th and May 9th, so you see the volunteers there. You see how farm there, which happens on May 11th. And we see our kindergarten chaperones going to the Akron Zoo on May 14th. The FFA Convention Center, we've talked about that chat trip, and you see an addition for Mr. Cosman there. I'll move out of personnel and into donations. We do have 2 donations for your consideration this evening. The first one is a donation of $280.41 from our friend Mr. Wagner over there at FIT. This was for busing transportation for the 3rd grade field trip, and I know Mr. Wagner and everybody at FIT love when our 3rd graders go there. It's such a great trip. I went 1 year and saw it. It's amazing. So thank you to Al at FIT. And we have a $500 donation that was given by Josh Weschman in the West Agency. This is National Honor Society Senior Top Scholar event, which we just had last week. And Mr. West continues to be an incredible sponsor and supporter of our high school and our school district. So we thank him for that. That is going to end my recommendations for your consideration this evening.
All right, thank you. So we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved?
Second.
And any questions or comments?
I I have a question on what is the difference between the limited contract recommendations and the continuing recommendations?
Yeah, limited contracts are expiring contracts, Mrs. Solich, so these are gonna be people that have not earned a continuing contract. These are usually your teachers that are in that are in their early years of their careers. By law in the state of Ohio, you have to have worked up to 7 years with the appropriate evaluations before you are eligible for continuing contract. That would be in certified world. It's a little bit different in the non-teaching world. You can have a limited contract for a shorter amount of time, but we would follow the agreement that we would have with OC that determines that. But the continuing contract, once you earn that, and a lot of people, that is called tenure in a lot of places. What that means is the contract does not have an end.
Okay, thank you, because I see a couple teachers that have been here for a while.
Yeah, that would, there's a possibility they don't have the educational background for that maybe not a master's degree or something, or maybe they haven't been here for the full, 7 years. But yeah, you could have some veteran teachers that have, that are not eligible yet for a continuing contract. That can happen.
Any other questions?
I have a comment. Am I allowed to make a comment, or do you want me to wait until we?
No, you can make a comment at this time.
Okay. I had some concerns on our new curriculum candidate. Absolutely nothing to do with him. It's his background. I wanted to have an executive session. I contacted all our board members, asking for an executive session just so that we could discuss it. That fell through. I had talked to Mr. Stanton on Sunday about my concerns, voicing my concerns. I also had talked to Barb on the phone too. Mr. Stanton said that if I was going to vote no on this candidate, he would be withdrawn and we would be going to the next person.
No, ma'am, I did not say that to you. No, I did not say that to you. We had a conversation about what you were potentially doing, and I gave you the background on Dr. Winton, and I shared with you the process that we are using tonight.
So you said nothing about he would be withdrawn and we'd go to the next person?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not say that to you.
So I said that if we weren't going to do, this is the dysfunction of this, this group here. If we weren't going to do an executive session, which they did a million executive sessions last year and the years before, but this wasn't anything. So I said that I will just express my concerns at the board meeting. And once again, this is nothing personal, but our new curriculum, the curriculum director, in his resume that was sent to me by Mr. Stanton, it says 2015 to the present. He is the principal of Rocky River High School, which he's not.
Okay, Mrs. Silich, but if you're
this
going
is
to...
my comments.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I told you that I was going to say this.
And I gave you the answer as to why that happened. Dr. Winton gave
It's a
an updated resume.
It's a professional resume for a very important job in
Right,
this district.
which we have.
Okay, let's go on to the next one.
And you know this, Kim, you know how I answered this question. You do.
You answered the question after you talked to me on Sunday, after you talked to him, that supposedly there was another resume, but that's the resume that you sent me.
No, ma'am, there was no supposedly. It was in the system. I did not talk to him about this. I looked into the system and the resume was there.
Okay, I have the email, I have the text, you sent me the text.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on. This candidate was the principal at Rocky River in 2021 and to 2023, when 6 teachers from the high school were resigned or retired. One retired because they were sending texts of a female student. Some sort of a picture, it was on the news, I'm not making this up. Some sort of a picture that was sent, and the teachers were discussing a student. Further on, I guess at some point they were discussing female staff too. To me, that's the culture. That's the culture of him as a principal. When you have 6 teachers, to me it's disgusting. It's completely disgusting that any teachers that they're here for the students, they're educated, they're certified, and they have something like that. That's beyond ethics or morals or anything like that. So that tells me that's the culture of Rocky River. And
those
then
teachers were still there, or they were released?
they were released in 23, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Like we dealt with.
Well, they weren't released, I think they all resigned. And one retired.
Sometimes people resign instead of getting terminated.
Oh, exactly. 6 people, that's a lot. All male teachers. And then the third thing is this candidate is actively suing the Rocky River Board of Education for breach of contract. I don't know all the specifics, but I do know that he, from Mr. Stanton, that he was owed a severance and they did not honor his severance. So he's actively suing the Board of Education, which is what we are, and I do not think that's something that we should delve into. Obviously, he left Rocky River for a reason. So as I talked to Barb, the reason why I don't like this and I'm so upset is we have such a history at Buckeye of we have 2 principals that Barb knows of, because we discussed it, 2 principals that were way beyond ethical conduct. And once you hire people, you can't get rid of them. The last one that we had, we couldn't get rid of until he decided to leave. The first one, I was on the board. As soon as I found out what he was doing, he was placed on administrative leave and he never came back. I just think out of 20 people, 27 applicants, you have 8 interviews, and I don't have anything against you, sir. I think that there certainly could be somebody else that's got a lot cleaner record for Buckeye schools that has a history of some pretty unethical hiring.
Is that it?
Yep.
For you? Well, we have a motion on the floor to accept or to vote on the consent agenda. And go ahead, Mr. Donnelly, roll call.
Okay, Mrs. Pavarchi,
Yes.
Mr. Kuyak,
Yes.
Mrs. Sisilich,
I'm sorry, no.
and Mr. Salazar,
Yes.
and Mrs. Gusselman.
Yes. For future reference, Mrs. Seselich, if you are voting no on the entire consent agenda because you just voted no. For future reference, I would suggest that if you have one item, that you disagree with, that you would ask that that item be removed from the consent agenda in the future.
Oh, is that how we're gonna play that?
That's the
We're
law.
not gonna do a executive session to discuss it, so that we can discuss it amongst the 5 of us, but we're going to say that I should have taken it off the agenda.
If that was
She
your
would've said no.
feeling,
Okay,
if that was your feeling, that's how we handle it.
noted.
Okay, going on to new business.
Yes, thank you. Okay, 2 items for new business for this evening. We have for your consideration, we have a first read of the handbooks. These are the handbooks for 26-27 for the preschool, the elementary school, the junior high school, and the high school. So all of that information you have. So if you want to do some reading between now and next month, there's all kinds of handbook information.
I certainly have, thank you.
There you go. Thank you, Mrs. Pavarchi. And then first read of the presentation that Mrs. Elias and Mr. Call did tonight for the math adoption. So those are our 2 items for new business.
All right then, board comments, any final comments for this evening?
I've got a couple.
Sure.
Yeah, so number 1, I want to thank Mr. Justice. I think over we talked about some of the additional repairs that we'll have from the windstorm. I know that we're working through those. Mr. Stanton, I appreciate your transparency on this as well. I know, Mr. Justice, you've shared multiple times the millions of dollars in maintenance and upkeep and upgrades over the past 2 years that we've performed on the campus. I know we've worked to communicate this in a way that the public can understand and how we can share that best. But between the geothermal units, the elementary school roof, the high school roof repair, the junior high roof repair, the sidewalk, playground fences, bus garage, fuel containers. That's just a couple that I remember. But tonight I went back to the track complex, and I really appreciate the pavement. I know the public does as well. I saw an elderly couple with a walker going through there so that they could attend what I assume is their grandchild's event. With the stone, that just wasn't going to be possible. So it's great to see people safely navigating through those. It's not, it's not a $1 million cost savings project, but it gets us the fundamentals that we need here. So thank you for that. And I also wanted to thank Mr. Snook and the team. I know last Thursday they hosted the NHS banquet and staff recognition. I'd say in this day and age, it's easy to get drugged into what is not working or maybe a negative opinion of something. But this was just truly a positive event, right? You're recognizing your top scholars. And if you haven't attended, it really was special, right? Because those students, those top students that have been with us for so long, are recognizing the staff or the teacher that made an impact on them over their educational history, so over 13 years. So we had, I may ask for a little bit of help here, but I saw like a second grade teacher, certainly some staff members.
Bus driver.
Bus driver, yes, yeah. So it was really special. And when you think about students talking about the people that have positively impacted their lives, it was pretty special. So I thank you for that. I'd also like to thank Mr. Winton for joining us, sticking around this evening. Certainly, in looking at your background, you've got an outstanding performing record as an educator and a top talent. We certainly are on the cusp of some exciting changes here at Buckeye with the new facility, and that is, I think, the perfect opportunity to review our curriculum and ideally, if we could replicate anything that you've done from some of the accolades that Mr. Stanton shared, that would be outstanding.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Anyone else?
I just want to also just welcome Dr. Winton. I had a chance over the last several days to reach out to Jeff, and he answered a lot of my questions. I had a chance to talk to some Rocky River parents and some other Rocky River educators. They all spoke extremely highly of you. So I think it's just exciting to get your classroom knowledge, principal knowledge, your background across the board in school districts. Rocky River is very highly regarded. From the outside looking in, I was excited to see somebody from Rocky River apply for the position, and I'm glad to have you here. Regardless of the shoes you have to fill, I think you're joining a very strong team that's excited to advance the district. To Roy's point, facility-wise, a lot of excitement, and obviously when you have an opportunity to design a new high school curriculum is the guiding light. It's just great to we'll get you some orange and brown clothes and get some gear on you and get you ready to go. But welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I just have a couple of things. Congratulations to our students of the month, because that's always the best part of the meetings. Also to our athletes who achieve excellence. It's just high level excellence. And then as Mr. Myers had indicated, the high level of academic achievement that our athletes have, it's so impressive. I'd also like to congratulate Mrs. Axe on her retirement. I have to tell you, she was a brand new teacher down at Liverpool. She was a sub at Liverpool before she was married, and I worked down at Liverpool, so it's making me feel a little bit old that she's retiring now, and I know your junior high is going to miss her. She is a shining light at Buckeye Junior High School and with the kids and the staff. She's incredible. Also, Mrs. Christopher, congratulations to her. I'm happy for her. And let me see, what else do I have here? And welcome. Thank you, Dr. Winton. Thank you. Welcome to Buckeye. Appreciate that you're coming here. I think that's it, Barb. Okay. I have a lot of notes, but I think I hit them all.
Denise just said everything that I wanted to say.
I'm so sorry.
But I did have the opportunity to work with Michelle Axe and Diane Christopher when I was curriculum director here. Two very fine, positive people. So they will definitely be missed. And welcome, Dr. Winton. I know most recently you were at North Ridgeville, but when I pulled in and saw the Rocky River buses there, I thought, what, did he bring everybody with him or what? But we certainly look forward to working with you in the future.
I just wanted to say thank you all for coming. Mr. Myers, I think you have a fantastic job because Buckeye is really built on athletes. We really have a strong background with the wrestling and everything else. So, and I love the presentation, like to see the kids come at any time because that's what it's all about.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I wanted to just say one thing about team player. I try and get involved. I try and spend time talking with these guys. The 4 board members have nothing to do with me. Fine, you can obviously see why. As far as this last hire, I think the right thing to do was to go into a executive session, discuss amongst ourselves what was going on. I think that would have been the professional thing. And I will stand by Mr. Stanton, what you said to me.
It's fine, I disagree with you.
Yes, and I disagree with you.
Yeah, and you know, Kim, I thought we had a very productive phone call, and I was appreciative phone call. But we have a very clear disagreement on one point. So.
And if I may add as well, I know we've had the same conversation on sunshine laws and that we cannot have conversations with more than 2 board members at a time, so.
That was the whole idea of the executive session.
Right, and I know you've also shared that the executive sessions are too much. I think Mr. Stanton is the CEO of this district, and as the superintendent, he is in charge of leading the district in the hiring. We certainly have a deep background in human resources. We just extended his contract. I think he's doing a great job. I appreciate that, and you have my full trust, as well as the hiring committee as well. So, appreciate the work.
I have a lot longer history with this district, and I've seen a lot of bad things that happen. And I think as a board, we should recognize that and be a little more proactive.
Okay.
And I look forward to working with you people.
Well, it's more than just words. You actually have to take that action as well. So I
And
would
what would you
welcome it as
suggest
well.
that I do?
Well, we can talk, you know what, we'll talk about this afterwards.
All right, so then I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second.
The roll call?
You guys are quicker than I am. Hold on one second. Was that Roy?
I second.
Okay, Mr. Kuya
Yes.
and Mr. Salazar,
Yes.
Mrs. Silic,
Yes.
Mrs. Navarchi,
Yes.
Mrs. Dunkelman.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.